Howdy, Beefalo Bart here, and welcome. Pardon the sniffles. But, yeah, for this particular video is going to be the sound of my neighbor's dogs barking. No, I'm sorry. It's going to be a first look of the VisAI Advanced Modular AI System. It is for sale on the marketplace. It is not free. And it is $20. I went ahead and purchased it just a few minutes ago, and I'm going to do a first look on it. So what I've done is I've created a project that started with my Steam Simple Multiplayer Steam template, so that it will be a multiplayer project, because apparently this is set up to have easy to use multiplayer integration, and we shall see. Spoke briefly with the developers, and no, I was not given this free. I did purchase it from the marketplace. You just saw that it was there in the marketplace where I add to project. And as many of you know, that I don't like any asset pack that says create project, and this one does not. It says add to project. That makes a hell of a lot more sense, and it's already a good point for me on this asset pack, not just because it was $20, but because it allowed you to add it to your existing project. So, already 1 point ahead for me. It'll take just a moment. This is a first look, so this is the first time I've opened this project. So we'll let that load. Shouldn't take much longer. Would certainly hope. Unlike one asset pack that sat there at 45% for, depending on your computer, between 5 and some people said they were waiting 30 minutes, but they must have really bad potatoes. It wasn't this project, by the way. So we're at 50, so give it just a moment and it will load. Tonight's drink of choice, here's a shocker, it's Orange Crush. And, of course, got a hot cup of coffee, which will probably be cold by the end of this video. We're cooking. You can see there is a wait for loading the project for the first time. So you can see that this is my first look. This is not some pre-staged video where I've already gone in there and tinkered with it and like, oh, okay, that's how you use it. No, this is a complete first look. I haven't seen anything other than what was shown on the marketplace page and 2 screenshots from the developer, but that was it. Alright, so click here. I'm going to jump right in and go to, well, hell, let's just go ahead and make a new map. New level, VR basic, like my usual, and I'll grab my ball. Do the usual, get rid of all the cool little objects there, and move my character. And one of the things that I looked for in the top 3 that I looked at in the marketplace for AI controllers, and I'm usually one that says, hey, don't just go willy-nilly buying frickin' projects from the marketplace, because most of them tend to be a pain in the ass to actually get to work. So there we go. We have our normal player character, and we're running around inside of our blank map. Awesomeness. We have our basic health system already intact. So let's go ahead and take a look at the VisAI folder and see what we got here. Root, we got an example map. Well, let's go ahead and save our current map. Save selected, maps folder, test map. So let's load their example map. Why not? See, a parent folder, simple FPS, starter content. That would explain some of the sizes. 150 megabyte addition to your project. I'm sure some of it is some of the stuff from the starter content. You can't knock that because starter content is going to give you some good sounds, a few particle effects, things like that, some materials. So and they're free and they're awesome. Ooh, wow, okay. So what are these things here? VisAI waypoint. So apparently there's 30 waypoints, and I see 2 spawn points, and there's a note. Details. Check spawner details for settings and blutilities. Minor. I don't know if that was intended to be that way, but okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and just hit play and see what happens. And exit game. Because it doesn't have a built-in. I see a player spawn, but in the world settings, game mode override is none. So short term, I'm going to do third person. Alright, so my third person, I've got that first person view. No shooting ability, so. AI travel to waypoints, looking for enemies. Hello, error, instantly. Infinite loop detected. Infinite loop detected in AI function library inputs. So let's take a look. Yay. Alright, so let's close that. Alright, so there's an infinite loop in this. Loop body, and that's your outputs. Got a sequencer node that feeds right back into the branch, and on true, then 0 goes to loop body and completed. Yeah, that's interesting. So, first off, editor preferences, because Unreal Engine 4 sucks donkey nuts. Main window. Loading and saving. Disable autosave. Alright, so we hit play, and shortly after it immediately just crashes out. This red guy is not seeking out anything because he probably does not have anything listed as his target. So let's go to AI spawn point details. Let's see how it looks here. Spawn class melee. That's good because there's ranged and melee in this. Default spawn AI. Debug. Spawn class melee. Spawn amount. Spawn delay. What is group actor? Okay. Well, the spawn points, you would think that something in here would point to what the target is. Because again, we'll hit play, and if I stayed in the same location, nothing happened. Well, it crashed like that. And it's that same thing. It's got an infinite loop going on there. So why is it creating an infinite loop? Let's look at the parent folder and base, behavior, debug, waypoints, AI functions. You get your AI controller, and then this is a camera boom, follow camera. Is this actually your player? Clear timer by handle. Okay, so both of those are showing warnings. Is this supposed to be our player? You know, on rep is dead. Debug UI. Destroy. Is health low? Wow. Interesting. So many capsules there. Why so many capsules and then a camera? Character movement, AI perception. Yeah, I don't know if that's supposed to be the AI or if that's supposed to be what. Because where was the... Okay, we got 2 spawn points. One's here, and was the other one over here? Yeah, looks like it. Not good that you go in here and immediately you have an issue. Now, I'm relying on this player spawn. So whenever I hit play, I'm actually using my player. Alright, and there's another guy here. He's got a weapon. Okay, so, see, he was doing a melee attack and killed the other guy. And they're wandering between these waypoints, and that's good. So apparently you've got the red guy is red team, and the white guy was white team. There was a 1 second delay on respawn, but there was also a respawn amount. So let's take a look at our spawns. Spawn point, this was the first one, which was melee. Spawn delay, spawn amount. Let's change that to 3. Just for shits and grin. And same thing for the ranged guy. Set that to 3. Group actor. Don't know what these are supposed to be here yet. These are melee, the other ones are ranged. Call the event on selected objects. Spawn AI. Alright, well let's see what happens now. We've changed the spawn amount. Alright, so we got 3 and it crashed. AI function library again. It is infinite loop. Alright, so yeah, I'm seeing it right off the bat, just dropping it in. There's some issues. So we got our ranged guys. They're not able to shoot. Monster AI BP. And there we go. So I will mess with it. I will be in touch with the creator. BP test enemy. And we'll find out what's going on here. Base AI melee and clear timer by handle. Yeah, there's a lot of little issues here and there. Yeah, it's only $20, but $20 is a lot of money for people who don't have a lot of money. And this one doesn't have any perceived errors. Fire at enemy, custom event, apply damage. Okay. Not sure why there's so many capsules in here. You got you got 5 capsules. Not sure what that's about. So we got your parented begin play. I thought I was supposed to go to that location, but yeah, fire at enemy, custom event. Okay, so the parent Ranged AI. Let's take a quick look at base. FPS character. Same 5. Behavior hunt. Goal kill enemies. Plan search for enemies. So you got event tick, event begin play. Nothing is there. What's happening, man? Yeah, checking out this thing here, and yeah, I'm getting infinite loop errors and some other issues. I'm kinda not sure why that their AI has 5 freaking capsules. Because if I look here at this map and I hit play using just my default player character, I've got 3 enemies spawning from each side. The red ones are melee, the white ones are ranged. Okay, so those are actually firing, even though they're not actually shooting yet. But AI traveled to waypoints looking for enemies. Waypoints have room number and enter bool, which is used for enter points in the room. Failed blocked. They're fighting each other. But let's see if we get that error again. So ranged guys, and we're getting some little flutter here and there. I looked at 3 different AI asset packs, and let's see. Well, I have the ability to do that. AI goes to these stealth points when their health is low and attempt to regain health. They leave after health has been restored. So, yeah, it didn't crash this time. Because what I plan on doing is setting up, and like I said, I'm looking for a good AI system that's, ooh, yeah, there we go. That's just simple to plug into a project and just roll with. And right off the bat, we're getting infinite loop with this. Our inputs in our while loop, we're getting infinite loop. Yeah, the other one that I looked at, there was 2 that were $20 and one that's $45. And so far, you know, the one for $45 is the one that I was really leaning heavy towards, but I was assured that this one was simple and easy to work with. So, yeah. Yeah, it's got behavior trees. Your parent, you get your AI controller, you got your blackboard and your behavior tree right there. Tasks. So turn to enemy, target nearest enemy. So let's just open up this and event receive execute AI. You cast to the controller, AI controller. Get closest enemy in sight, which is fine. That's part of their controller. Closest actor and enemy found. Enemy found is true. Set blackboard value as object. And reference to enemy. There's nothing there. Finish execute. So yeah, it's got a full behavior tree system to it. Sure, once I spend some time digging into it and trying to figure out what's going on with it, I'm going to go back to my test map. I'm not going to save anything because that wasn't really working. So I don't have anything spawned in here. I'm just going to, this is just my default test map that I use. So no AI, nothing in here right now. So you've got waypoints, stealth waypoint, and regular waypoint. So apparently what I was reading there was the stealth waypoints are for... Okay, first things first, if you're going to add AI into a map, you got to have mesh bounds. And let's go ahead and scale that so it fits the map. Not worried about it being perfect right now. It's peaky. Yep, it's all green, all good. So we'll put a waypoint in, just random. And melee AI BP. Just hit play. Please change room number from 0 in monster waypoint location printed below. So yeah, I'm assuming that it needs to have a room number. I don't see anything. It's rendering tags. A lot of stuff in the details panel here. Character movement is in the details panel. That's kind of weird. Character movement avoidance. Yeah, we're just going to delete this guy from the map for right now. Let's see here. Let's actually go back to our base. So what we're going to need to now figure out is setting up the right character. Melee and ranged. Because I put this guy back in here again. So auto possess disabled, auto possess AI. Actually, no, we needed to have a spawner. Where was the spawner? AI spawner. So we'll put that in here. And looking at the details, spawn them out. Let's change that back to 1. Shouldn't have saved automatically to that. I changed it to 3 on the other map. But yeah, that shouldn't have been a thing. Spawn class is melee. Spawn AI. So let's see what happens now. And just please change room number from, and it still spawned 3. I didn't. Okay, 1. There we go. Saying please change room number from 0 in monster waypoint. So we'll look at that, and room number, change that to 1. Now hit play. Okay, it's room 1. Alright, he runs over, goes to the waypoint. We're not set as an enemy, so it doesn't know to look for us. Interesting. Okay. Let's add in another spawn point, and we'll change this one 1 and change it to ranged. And hit play. So they both spawn, and the melee seems to go to and want to attack the ranged. And you killed him, you son of a bitch. Oh, he's attacking me. but he's not coming to me. Alright, so there's a difference between its it's attacking me. So there's a difference between its damage and my damage. So let's look at the base and find out what it does for damage. Get health regen. It's checking health. Health is defaulted to 100, which is okay, the same as what I use. Of course, I didn't set up anything for my player character to actually receive damage. Death. Replicated death. Well, it's good that it's replicated stuff. Damage. Event any damage. That's going to be taking damage. Damage and damage causer. It's changing the health value. That's nice, but where is... So, silly question. Why were these left in here on an AI? Movement inputs, jump, mouse input, gamepad input. Those are defaulted from the third-person character blueprint. I don't know why they're in there. Alright, so set AI controller reference, begin play, death, and damage. Attack the damage causer if they're closest to the actor. So what is it actually doing to cause damage? It's apparently doing an attack. So let's actually go back to the individual ones like the melee and that kind of stuff. Goals, plans, behaviors. I'm sure this is going to work really good once I get in here and interpret things, but with the amount of errors that I see, that's not boding well. If we're to look in here, and what is this compared to the other one? This is just a child actor. You see it goes from event begin play to parent begin play. So let's look at the melee. How are you doing damage? Loop through and apply damage. So let's go back to the beginning of this. Wow, you got clear timer by handle. Get overlapping actors. Please refresh node or reset pin. I'm not going to reset anything right now. I'm going to document everything that I see that is giving me errors and report it back to the developers. Are the characters in melee range? Clear timer by handle. Yes. Add them for reference. Okay, that makes sense. In string. It's melee. Print to screen. Interesting. Alright, so melee sphere. It's getting that reference. Okay, that's it. And then class filter is listed as character here. That's actually giving an error. Get overlapping actors. And that right there. Specifying non-default value no longer exists on node. Alright, so that's we're gonna have to go back to that. Loop through and apply damage. Target is an enemy. Apply damage. Alright, and we got base damage. Let's roll back through this. And damage amount. So melee damage is set to 17. Melee attack rate is 0.8. So I would imagine that's the speed of attack, and that's your actual damage. So you're doing 17 damage. So that's actually going to be just apply damage. So to make that damage actually work against our player, which my player is here, player underscore base, we don't have a damaging thing in here. We just have health. So under player stats, health. Well, let's just see what happens here. Event, any damage. And we'll get a reference to our health. We'll do a get. And we will do float minus float. Connect that to here. So we can subtract the damage from our health. And our next node is, oh shit, this is going to drive me crazy if I don't make it pretty. You idiot. Okay, that looks pretty enough. So now we would do a set health and connect that to here and that to here. And of course, at this point, we would then check if our health is less than 0 or is equal to or less than 0. Then set is dead equal to true, and then handle our death information. But for now, we just want to see if it's actually going to apply damage. So, okay, they spawned. He immediately goes after the bot. There. He's doing melee attacks. He's chasing after the other bot, and he killed him. So if I come over here and I stand here, he's attacking me, and my health bar is not going down. But if I walk away, he's not attacking. Interesting. So, really quickly here, because like I said, this is actually, that should do it right there. That should accept that damage. Apply damage. And the damage actor is pulled in from here for each loop. Yeah. Excluding self, overlapping actors. Look at our viewport. Overlapping actor for the melee guy has to be right there, that big red loop. Look at our melee sphere, and that's it. Alright, so yeah, I see a lot of little quirks and bugs. What I'm going to do here really quickly is I'm going to close this out. And yeah, don't save anything. Now, one of the other ones that I was looking at, and I know it's not fair to do a comparison and then show something else, but I know you can't see what I'm doing because I'm working off screen here. The other one that I'm looking at is actually $45. And I honestly think that it's potentially going to be a little bit better overall. Alright, so this one, you can hit the H key and it regenerates your health automatically. You got shooting with accuracy already built in. Hit the number 2 key and it goes full auto. WASD controls, you can manually change levels. Yeah. So we'll look at this. Now, not everything, quote unquote, is included in this, but it says only white soldiers. No, this is a demo that they included a link into the description in the marketplace. So I downloaded this from their Dropbox. But you can see the what it says there. Sounds are not included in the pack, and particles come different in the pack. Their English is not very good, but So you got health. You see UE4 marketplace. So you've actually got enemy that actually have behaviors or strafing. Yes, sorry, it's a little bit noisy there. Hit H, regen my health back up to normal. You can use preset animations, or you can use sneaky little bastard. But yeah, I mean, this is just their demo for it. Get my health back. So they've got some animation, some behavior. You can set them to ragdoll or use animations. Yeah. So not bad, but let's head over to a different map here. Get my ass kicked. They also have a team system built in. So, Sharon, hell you shooting at? Kiss my ass. And you're level 2. Now, this guy is actually an ally. Now, I don't know what their screen resolution is set at, but it's really low. I guess it did that so for people who have potatoes, they can launch this. So he's a friendly, and didn't save my fire mode, but he's going to assist along the way there. He got his ass kicked. I like this one. Other than the shooting system and the sounds, and but that's to be expected. But yeah, the main focus from this video, I think that's actually going to be something to look at, because there's a lot of little errors, and my gut reaction was to actually buy this one instead. So we'll hit escape, close that out, and what I did was I went to the marketplace, and of course, this being the first of the month, you've got 5 more free things. I'm not going to do reviews on these. That one looks a little interesting, and that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. Nothing just says, oh my god, you really have to do that. Yeah. So, went to Browse and Blueprints. And on the second page for me, you get a bunch of stuff. It's hard to navigate through here because there's a lot of shinies. But this is the one that I just did the first look on, and wow, bunches of errors. Like I said, I will be talking to the creators for it. But yeah. This was the other one, and it's set at $20. Multiplayer enemy waves creator. This seemed like it was a better option over this one, but with the amount of errors that I'm running into, it's weird. I'm sure I can figure it out, and I'll keep messing with it. But the other one was the one that I just played the demo for, which looks pretty good. On page 3. Yeah, there's a lot of shiny things to look at in here. Multiplayer pickup system, that looks interesting. But we don't need that. We can make our own. Yeah, this one right here. AI enemies, assault soldiers. That's the one that I just played the demo for. And it's $45. It's a bit more money. It's supported engines is 421 and 422. The project that I was just doing was in 420, but my simple multiplayer Steam template does work with all versions. Yeah, this one actually looks like it might have been a better option overall, because in the advanced one there was no shooting. The melee, there was no animations for him doing it. You're gonna have to bring in your own animations. You're gonna have to bring in all your other stuff. Whereas this one right here, it's more than twice the price, but there's more included, but there's no melee. So if you decide you want to do a melee using the advanced AI, then probably be a better option. But the VisAI Advanced Modular, yeah, I see a lot of potential with it. We'll have to see about doing a few instructional videos on how to actually use it. There are no videos attached to it. There is a Discord channel, and I asked a question and got a response back pretty quickly. So that's a good thing. But from what I'm seeing in here for what we just looked at for that project is 2 FPS AI classes, which is the one that we saw, which was the melee and the ranged. Behaviors, goals, plans, and actions. Examples like deathmatch, kill enemies, silent attack, move to enemy. So we need to. I'm going to need to spend some time fidgeting around with it, seeing how I can get them to recognize my player character as the appropriate class. You can see also it's worker, produce lumber, chop wood, find nearby tree. So there are behaviors, goals, plans, actions, and things you can put in there, and there are. And I'm just gonna. I hate doing it this way, but. Yeah, I'll go back and read that later. There are nodes you can use. Oh, I can't drag that over. But I can do this. Any enemy in sight. There are nodes that we can use to do our own scripting for setting up the AI. Some of that I've already shown there. But yeah, I will play around with it. I've already bought it. I'm going to have to figure it out. So as I get it figured out, you guys keep checking back in on my Discord channel, and I'll fill you in on progress with it. But what I want to do is set up the City Studios characters with this AI and my characters and my multiplayer characters and all that stuff. And I'm going to start putting together a fun, for right now, cooperative based game where we can set up, and it's going to probably be a modernized variant of like a D-Day invasion. One of my favorite games of all time was Battlefield 2, and of course Battlefield 1942 and all the expansions for it. And I went to purchase that again, even though I've got 2 copies of Battlefield 2. I've lost all my discs for it and can't find them, and I never had them linked to my Steam account. And I went to purchase it a couple days ago again through Steam, and it's not there. And looking all around, yeah, you can buy CDs on Amazon for it, but are the frickin' serial numbers locked, unlocked? Are you getting scammed by buying it for $3 on Amazon? For a hard copy of it? I don't know. I mean, it's okay, $3, but then you got to probably pay shipping, which probably costs 10 times as much. Then it really pissed me off that EA. I fucking hate EA. They decided that too many people were still playing Battlefield 2, and they didn't have any DLC for Battlefield 2. They weren't making any more money off of it. So to stop you from playing these older games and to force you to come in there and buy the latest piece of garbage they're calling Battlefield in that franchise, Battlefield 5 or whatever, it's garbage. Yeah, to force you into buying them, they'll stop you from playing the older versions. So you can no longer purchase and play Battlefield 2 because EA doesn't want you to. They have pulled it from all markets. That is such bullshit. But one of the things I liked about Battlefield 2 was you could do it in cooperative and or PvP. So you had that option in setting up your map and your multiplayer game, and you could have, 25 versus 25. Hell, I've set up scenarios whenever I was still playing the game years ago, where it was me versus like 75 or 80 friggin' enemies or whatever. You could bump up the number of enemies on the map, but it just got more challenging. And the whole point of it was similar to capture the flag or it's capture the zone, whereas you're trying to go from, in one of the maps that I really loved, you started off, and this is modern combat now. This is modern weapons and sniper rifles and machine guns and tanks and M1 Abrams and T-80s and or T-72s at the time, and modern aircraft. You had helicopters, and it was freaking awesome. So there's one map where you started off on a LVT or landing carrier or whatever, a light carrier, and you're taking assault boats trying to get on shore, and you're fighting to try to capture the beach. And then once you capture the beach, then you can spawn there. Once you die, and you respawn, and the whole point is you're trying to capture all of the objectives. And it's also, there's a point system in place where if you can't capture it then by a certain time or what have you, that whole thing. I love that shit. So there was good bot support. However, you pretty much had to go in there and I made a mod for Battlefield 2 where it disabled the bots from being able to use RPGs and rocket launchers. Because them some bitches would sit there with a frickin' RPG and snipe you from 300 plus yards, and get a headshot with a frickin' RPG. So I made a mod to fix that problem. But the whole point was you're able to play in cooperative and fight against bots that were a semi-good challenge, and it was just fun. You could play it solo, you could play it single player, you could play cooperative, PvP, and when you get into a good PvP map, just because there's 10 players on this side and 10 players on that side, there may be 50 per team, and the rest of the teams is filled up with bots. So there's always somebody to shoot at or get shot by. So to me, that was the fun of that. So what I would like to do is set up a multiplayer cooperative for now, and then later team based, where you could actually, I want to be on red team, you can be on blue team or whatever, but set up a cooperative based multiplayer first person shooter, first person / third person shooter, that is on that nature. And I'll make another video talking about that. But to wrap up this video really quickly before I start talking to the developer here, I ran into a lot of little problems with the project that I created, and I'm going to go ahead and fire it back up and then talk to the developer and see what I can come up with. Alright guys, it went a little bit longer than I wanted to go on this video, but alright, I'll let you know what happens. Just keep up with me on Discord and I'll let you know. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.